1 second. Boyfriend is calling. Tell them how I manifested you.
She said, Lord, bring me the finest, most able-bodied, most handsome, loving man in the world, and I popped up.
Tell them how you manifested me.
I said, Lord, please bring me the most loving, beautiful, kind woman in the world, one who matches me, one who is going to be my partner, and you popped up.
Period. Okay. Hey y'all. I'm back. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Yes, I've been gone. I'm not even gonna get into this video without addressing the fact that I've been gone, because if you hear a noise, it's my cat running around. See, I have a cat now. Like, there's just a lot I need to update y'all on, okay? This is a mini update because these are also kind of things that I manifested, and so I wanted to give them ample time and attention. I also wanted to give myself time and attention to live and breathe and enjoy the things that I worked so hard for. A lot's just been going on, okay? We had the show, which made me move across the country for months. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that coming out, which was great. It was a blessing. I'm doing the same thing on the show that I do here with y'all, confidence coaching and things like that. So I was really grateful to be able to do something so true to myself. If you want to watch it, it's on Roku. It's called Match in Miami. Now I'm back. Then I graduated college, so that was big. I had to go back to the other side of the country to graduate and walk and do all that. If you guys follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you've seen that as well. And then I opened my website for y'all to be able to do one-on-one coaching so I can have a more intimate experience with you guys. I wanted to make sure I created a space for y'all where you feel like you can have access to me directly. Oh, I also had my podcast drop. It was just a lot, okay? So, and I also had to live. We had a lot going on. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited for, you know, what's to come even beyond that. But I miss y'all, and I feel more settled in my life, and I feel more settled in myself right now. And so I'm settled enough to come back to y'all. I never want to come to y'all with like chaotic energy or half-ass beep energy. I want to come to y'all when I am in a place where I can serve. And so, you know, sometimes I have to serve myself so that I can serve y'all better. I have to fill my cup so I can fill yours better. And sometimes I just need to live. You know what I mean? And so in that, today I want to talk to y'all about how I manifested my life. Literally everything that I have now is things that I've written down, that I've visualized, that I've told myself I was gonna have, that I told others that I was gonna have, came to fruition. And so I'm not going to gatekeep these secrets, okay? I want y'all to manifest the lives that you desire, that you dream of every single day. And so I'm gonna give y'all the tips on how I did it. So let's just get into this. Okay, y'all, so listen. Let's talk about what manifesting your life really is, I guess, to me, right? Everyone may have a different definition. But to me, it's kind of like the things that you want and desire in your life, either you're like writing them down, or you're visualizing them, or you're doing whatever you need to do to make it come to fruition, right? And then it does, and it's like, oh my God, I brought this to life. I did that. It was me. So where should we start? Okay, let's start here. The first thing that I would say that helped me manifest my dream life was not living for others. That's number one. I know that that's easier said than done, and I also know that it sounds very like duh, but we all do it in one shape or form. And so I want you to recognize that with yourself right now. So the first thing that you need to do is ask yourself, am I living for me or am I living for others? Meaning, check your attachments. Are you looking for external validation? Are you too comfortable in your hometown or in your home environment? Who are you living for? Are you living towards your highest self? Are you living for your highest self? And that was something I had to question within myself, and I realized I'm not. I'm basically in the same place that I've always been as far as like environmentally. I'm doing the same things. I didn't feel curious about life in the way that I do now. I think my scope was a lot smaller. And sometimes when you're around the same thing, the same people, the same environment, the same stores, the same whatever, like every day, it kind of like bubbles you in, right? And it kind of makes you feel like there isn't more than this. And so for me, I had to get out of my bubble. I took my little butt all the way from New Jersey to Los Angeles, right? At first, I wasn't moving. I was doing it just to see if I would like it. I had been here before with some of my friends, and we were going to events and things like that when I had first started YouTube and everything, and I hated it. I was like, ooh, I could never live here. And I realized I'm older now. I have experienced more now. Do I feel the same way? And so I would also say that as far as manifesting your dream life, like, revisit the things that you thought you once hated. Question yourself again. The things that you hated at that age, do you hate it now? Try it again. So I tried it again. And I was out here for like a week and I loved it. There was so much to do. It was fresh, it was new, it was fun. Moved out here. Been here ever since. That first leap that I took changed everything. It was a new environment, there was new people, there was new opportunity. It was changing what I've always done. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't agree. I feel like sometimes things can be improved. Just because the house isn't broken doesn't mean we can't do house improvements. Yes, my old environment wasn't broken, but I improved it by changing my environment. And there was a fear behind that of, what if I move somewhere else and I'm alone? Or whatever it is, right? And I had to get with myself and realize, like, I am the best friend that I will ever be to myself. I am the best partner that I could ever be to myself. And you have to know that everything that you desire, you are. That's why you're desiring it. Even if it's suppressed, right? So sometimes, like, maybe you're shy and you want an outgoing partner because you're shy. There's an outgoing version of you in there, it's just suppressed. And so rather than you pulling it out of yourself, you'd rather just pull it out of somebody else. You'd rather just lean on somebody else who's already pulled it up, because it's like, what if I'm rejected for being my outgoing self that I truly am on the inside? What if this, what if that, right? But it's in you. It is you. And so you are the partner you desire. You are the friend you desire. You just have to pull up the qualities that you feel like are not there, because they are. And so if I'm alone, I'm not alone. Does that make sense? I'm also a very spiritual person, and so I don't feel like you're ever alone because you're always walking with God, me personally. And so I'm not alone. I have the best partner and the best friend in self, and I also have God with me. So where could we go wrong? I think that's something that I would always encourage y'all to do. Travel. Try new places, try new things, meet new people, like new. There's so much to learn from places, people, and things. And so don't ever limit yourself to the same people, the same places, and the same things. Always be open to expanding your knowledge, to expanding your experience, because that may foster a whole new garden for you. Let me tell you this, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, girl, you know, we can't just up and move. I was very strategic in saving my money. So I will say that also very much helped me. But moving on, so boom, I moved out here. I changed my environment. I made new friends, I met new people, I watered my relationships at the company that I work at, which is YouTube. I was able to put myself in different faces, and sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes other faces is tired of seeing your face. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this was a comment that I ran across or if this was in one of my client coaching meetings, but somebody had said something like, how did you manifest your relationship, right? And that sat with me because I realized, I asked myself, I said, did I manifest my relationship? And I did. And I really did. For those of you that are looking for love, for looking for a partner, do what I always have been preaching on here, is to choose yourself. And once I started putting myself on an even higher pedestal, like once I upped my standards, baby, they met me right there. They outdid me, okay? So let's talk about that. In the past, right, when I was a young buck, when I was a young girl, what I thought was a high bar wasn't a high bar, and I didn't realize that until I got older. Somebody communicating with you, you know, consistently and effectively is bare minimum. That's not brownie points. You know what I'm saying? That is bare minimum. And I know that now as a woman, but as a young woman, I thought, you know, wow, this is so great. I'm always in constant communication with my partner, but it's like, well, bar and floor, you know what I mean? Or when you're together, they give their undivided attention. That's bare minimum. I really had to up my bar. I think I was so scared, and I think a lot of us get so scared to up the bar because we're scared that no one will meet it. And so we settle and we settle and we settle, and that is so far from our dream life. I told myself, I am going to up my bar because I would rather be by myself than be with someone who I know is not giving me what I deserve, because that is not aligned with my highest self. Again, that was something that I was very fearful of, because what if I raise this bar and nobody meets it? Am I gonna be alone? Had to remind myself, you're not alone. You're just gonna give yourself the love that you want someone else to give you. You are your best partner, baby. You are romantic, you are a lover, you are full of words of affirmation. So rather than looking for somebody to give it to outside of self, I'll just give it to myself until somebody can match that or outdo me, period. And I dated, you know what I mean? And none of them was meeting the bar, okay? So none of them was getting the title, baby. It was not gonna be that. I knew what I deserved, okay? And then my now boyfriend came around. What I will say is, he was around. He was putting his time in, you know what I mean? Like, he He was courting me, genuinely. If y'all watched my podcast with him, I'll put it up here. We talk about our story and how we met in college, but we were in relationships at the time, and we kind of like re-manifested each other into each other's lives 4 or 5 years later across the country. Like, really, really crazy story. Go watch the podcast. But anyway, point is, we truly manifested each other into each other's lives when the time was right. As he was improving himself as a man and facing himself and, you know, falling in love with himself, I was doing the same. And so when God, in my opinion, when God felt both of our energies doing that, he brought us back together. And so now we flourish as a unit. And what I will say is, he showed me that the bar can be met. The man will pick you up, okay, in his car, open that door for you. He will pay for that dinner. He will make sure you're in safe. He will cuddle you without trying to do nothing. He will make sure your mental health is straight. If he senses something off, he will make sure he's doing whatever he can do to make sure that mental health is improved. He will listen. He will communicate. That doesn't mean just being in constant communication. That means communicating what he's feeling, what you're feeling, what am I hearing, what are you hearing. He will be a man of God. He will be a man of ambition. He will be a man of determination. He will be a man of inspiration. Okay? Ooh, now me getting emotional. He will be that, okay? I'm only getting emotional because as a little girl, like, didn't think I would have that. Girl, boo. Yeah, but just really be a partner in life. And I feel like I manifested that because I started cherishing those qualities in myself. I think that was crucial. I think as I moved out here and as I really was by myself a majority of the time, I was truly living alone, right? Because when I was living in Jersey, my family was around the corner, baby. Although I was living alone, my family was there, my friends were in reach. When I moved out here, I was truly alone most of the time. And I think I learned so much about myself in that moment. And so what I would highly suggest is to get alone, okay? That doesn't mean complete isolation, baby. That just means like, spend more time with yourself. Like, I think a lot of times a lot of people are fearful of spending time with self. That's why they're constantly distracted. That's why they're constantly going out. They're constantly around people, right? But how much can we learn of ourselves when we're not only with ourselves? Spend one-on-one time with you, and you will learn so much about your desires, about who you are. And through that, I feel me and my partner manifested each other now. Who I am to him, he is to me. As a child, if you've watched this video of mine here, I went through fertility trauma. Going through that trauma made me feel like I'm not enough, man will never stay. Even though I healed through a lot of that, I think subconsciously it was still deep in the back of my mind. So through loving myself, I was able to find someone who loves me even deeper. And I think, as cliche as it sounds to love yourself first, this and that, me truly pouring into myself is what truly attracted others to pour into me. What I tried to tell y'all is like, who you are to yourself is oftentimes who a lot of other people will be to you. And that doesn't even mean that, oh, you're not deserving of love if you're, you know, cruel to yourself. That doesn't mean that at all. That just means you're in like an energy of accepting cruelty, and so you will accept it from around you. And so when you stop that and you accept nothing but love, nothing but kindness, nothing but respect, when you only accept that, everything else will fall off, and it will make room for others who only are coming with love, kindness, respect. Does that make sense? You have to clear the clutter out. And so for me, that meant friendships, that meant any men I was dating that were not deserving of me, okay? That meant habits. I think in me doing the work on myself and in me showing myself the love that I desired, it came to me. I had to show myself I was worthy, and I had to show myself what true love felt like. And you have the truest love for yourself. And so I had to provide it for myself to be like, oh, this is what I want to feel. Great. Anything beneath that is a dub. And it was. I had to face myself, right? I had to face the things that I didn't want to face. I will say something that changed my life in facing myself was therapy. I rave about therapy. I love therapy. Any of you who feel any type of way about therapy, hear me out, okay? Having someone else be able to hold your hand basically while you face yourself, help you face yourself, place the mirror for yourself in different angles so you can see different things in ways you haven't seen them before, is an unmatched experience, especially with the right therapist. I know a lot of people have, you know, bad experiences and they never want to go again. Do not let one person deter you from your journey to self. That is too important of a journey to let one person or one obstacle get in the way of that. And I am in therapy to this day because I just value it. I just value it that much. If you are interested in therapy, I highly suggest that for you. I also have anxiety, and so through therapy, I've been able to create a relationship with my anxiety that doesn't have to be negative, that feels very nurturing. That's my girl, you know? She just be acting up sometimes. I gotta calm her down. Being less anxious has allowed me to take more leaps, which has allowed me to manifest the life that I have. But regardless if you have like a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or even if you're just a person moving through life, okay, therapy can give you so many different outlooks and perspective on life that really helps you move along your journey, which is why I'm excited to tell you guys about today's sponsor, which is BetterHelp. Okay, so BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist super duper easy, basically because it's online, it's remote, and you just have to answer a few questions and BetterHelp can find you a professional therapist in as few as a couple days. I know all too well that finding a therapist can be very, very hard, and so BetterHelp's mission is to make it more affordable and accessible. And so I also like to say that therapy is kind of like dating, and so sometimes it's gonna work out and sometimes it's not, you know what I mean? But with BetterHelp, you can switch out to another therapist at any time, stress-free, and you don't have to worry about insurance. So if you're considering therapy, I would highly, highly recommend BetterHelp as a resource to do so. There is a link in my description to make it super, super easy for y'all. Clicking the link, of course, helps support the channel, but also gives you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can go see if that therapist is a fit for you. You can go to my link right here at betterhelp.com/Taty. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into this chat. Truly, therapy changed my life, and so I highly recommend it. I think releasing old things about yourself helps you, again, make room for new things about yourself, and also helps you gain clarity on what's already within you. And so, yeah, clear the fuzz out, girl. Clear the clutter out. Now, what else did I manifest? Oh, I manifested my dream home and my dream car. So, and I've done that a couple times now. Okay? I've always told myself, these are the things that I want for myself, right? And so when I get my apartment, I know I'm someone that thrives on sunlight, right? And so I need that for myself. And in knowing that I deserve it, which took work, reminding myself I deserve happiness, and so in my home, what brings me happiness is lots of sunlight. And so out here, the way that I can get that is probably having a certain type of window system, right? Probably a floor-to-ceiling window vibe, right? Okay, I need that. Less so for the bougie aspect, but more so for I need sun in my home in order for me to feel full. And so I'm not backing down on that. I told myself I was deserving. I told myself I was worthy. I only looked at places that had that. Saved different pictures to my vision boards. Okay, I have vision boards on my phone, baby. I have vision boards in real life. You need to have both. You need to be constantly visualizing and seeing the things that you want. I had it on there, girl. It was no house on my vision board without no big windows, okay? I told myself I was worthy. I went on my tours and I got it. So yeah, that's what I wanted for myself, and I wasn't accepting anything other than that. Now, funny thing is, before I moved out here, as far as my car, I was looking at electric cars, right? I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're so efficient and they're so great for the environment, right? But where I lived, there wasn't a lot of chargers, like car chargers, and so it would just be really inconvenient for me. Now, that didn't really have anything to do with why I moved, but just because that was on my mind and I had been telling myself, like, this is something I want, I just have to figure out how it would be, you know, feasible for me. But I know that I want it, and I know that I desire it, and I held that desire for myself, and I told myself I would get it. I told myself I would get this car one day. I'm like, you know what? I really think Teslas are really, really cute. Like, I want to be beep beep. Is that my bestie in a Tessie? Like, I want that to be me. It'd be so great to not pay for gas. You know what I mean? Like, I want to cut my expenses. I always held that desire, and I just told myself, one way, one day, I'm gonna figure that out. I did, right? I was car shopping one day with, you know, my family, and, you know, I'm looking, do I want a new one? Do I want to trade this one in? Whatever, you know, I'm in a new place. I want new energy, new energy, new energy. I keep telling y'all that. And so I put myself in the vibe of, I'm gonna find a car today. I know I'm gonna find one because I'm worthy of that. And if I don't find it today, it's because I'm not supposed to find it today. But I know I will find it. I literally did that with myself, prayed with myself, spoke to myself, and left with that energy, right? We went to like 4 different dealerships. By the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not my day. Instead of me sulking over things that don't work out the way that I want them to work out, I embrace it because I'm like, oh, there's a bigger plan going on. It wasn't supposed to work out today, but it's gonna work out. You know what I mean? I always tell myself that because in the past, there were things that I thought that I wanted that I'm so grateful that I didn't get. I have so many stories about that. Like, oh, I wanted to go to school in this city, but I'm so glad that I didn't, because if I didn't, I would have never met my boyfriend there, who I never would have reconnected with here, and this would have never happened. Like, everything falls into place the way that it was supposed to, or I wanted this to work out with this person, and I'm so glad that it didn't, because now I have this life. And now, like, you don't realize at the time everything that we want is not what we need, or it's not a part of our bigger plan, you know what I mean? And so I started ingraining that mindset in myself when I was having a bad day, or, you know, when what I wanted to happen during the day didn't happen. Instead of me being like, oh, didn't find a car, oh, didn't get to do this class, oh, didn't get to do whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to do that today. We'll try again tomorrow, we'll see. That's it. Like, changing that mindset changes your energy, and I think that that changes what gets attracted to you. And so I would say that's also a big thing on how I manifested my dream life, is to not sulk over the things that I don't get, because some of the things that I don't get are from my protection and redirection, and some of the things that I don't get just weren't supposed to happen that day. So anyway, boom, none of the car places worked out, right? Either out of my price range, or not what I wanted, or I just wasn't really sold on any of it. And so I was like, whatever, guys, I'm gonna take y'all, you know, shopping. Let's go to eat, and let's, you know, walk around this outdoor mall. What do I see as we're walking around this outdoor mall just shopping? A big Tesla store. I'm like, no way. I didn't even know they had one of these. I was still freshly new to LA. I didn't know where they were or anything like that. I wasn't even thinking about Tesla anymore. And so boom, we walk in there. I'm like, no, we have to go in here. Walk in there, and they're like about to close, but the guy's like, you know what, I'll just show you this one, you know, model that we have. I think it would suit you really good. We look at it, it's perfect. It's everything I dreamed of. It's everything I wanted. I'm like, no way. Now, I had to wait a month for it, which is not my ideal of what I wanted, right? But I'm grateful that I did, because now I have it. It's like, okay, everything is not always gonna work out exactly how you envision it, but it is gonna work out. And so yeah, that's how I manifested that, by releasing my attachment to it, and by releasing my attachment to outcome. I think the biggest thing about like manifesting is releasing your attachment to outcome. It may not happen the way you want it to happen, but if it's supposed to happen, it will happen. That is the outlook that I think truly changed how I manifested everything in my life. When something falls apart, it's because something better is falling into place. And that is all you need to remember as far as manifesting what you want in life. Is like, you know what? Okay, I thought I wanted this. Maybe I have something better coming for me. Maybe I just have to be more patient. Maybe it doesn't look the way I thought it was gonna look. Something else I always tell people is to give. Give and give and give. And that does not mean without boundaries. Say that. That doesn't mean like give to people without boundary, but that just means like to not hoard. Does that make sense? Where you can help or where you can give, just do it. Like, it feels really good to release the things that you kind of like hoard onto, whether that be time or money, or you know what I mean? Like, sooner we release our attachments to things, the quicker it comes to us. You know, when you want something so bad, it takes forever to come. That's just life. Or when you're looking for something so hard, let's say you lost your keys. When you're looking so hard for these keys, you do not find it. But when you're just like, all right, I know I left them somewhere, they're probably gonna pop up quicker. And so it's just releasing attachment and releasing urgency and releasing obsession to things that really don't matter. Just live. Be present in every moment. Sometimes when I'm not present and I'm feeling like very anxious or in my head, I literally have to like pinch myself, and it'll bring myself back into my body and be like, okay, I pinch myself, I look down at my body, I'm like, you're here right now though, right? This is where we are. I'm in the car, wherever I'm at. This is where we're at. I look around me. I do something called a 3-3-3, where I find 3 things that I can look at, and they have to be really small, not like big paintings or this and that. It's like a little crack in the wall, a little piece of dust on the floor, like really small, right? I try to find 3 things like that around me. I try to zone out and hear 3 things around me. It could be the AC, it could be a car driving past, it could be a faucet, it could be anything, right? Very, very small. And then 3 things that I can feel or taste or anything like that. So I can feel my skin, or 3 things that I can move, like my wrist, my legs, whatever I can do. After that, I feel so much more grounded and so much more present in my moment, and I'm so much more appreciative of what's around me after that. Instead of worrying about what's in here, so much more to be grateful for right in front of me, right in front of me. And so I think that also helped me manifest better things in my life because I was able to look around me and be grateful for what I already had and build upon that. Rather than, I think a lot of times we don't show gratitude, we cannot build. And so I continuously remind myself to show gratitude for what is in front of me so that I can continue to build upon it. And if nothing were to build further, I am grateful for what is right here. Does that make sense? Affirmations, it is optimism, it is gratitude, it is self-love, it is love for others, it is empathy for self and others. Embracing who you are and changing the things that you focus on will have better things just naturally attract you. Like, I literally believe in like magnetics of that, and I feel like once I released the things that didn't matter and released my attachment to all of it, the things that did matter started to come. There was more room for them. There was more room for me to nurture a healthy relationship. There was more room for me to nurture myself. There was more room for me to nurture my career, to take the pressure out of, well, what if this doesn't perform like this? And what if this doesn't happen? And what if this? Release my attachment to outcome and enjoy the process. Enjoy what I'm doing. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Just releasing and just living. And so as corny as that sounds, as like whatever as that sounds, that is truly how you're gonna find peace in life, by releasing your attachment. And that's really how I manifested everything within it, is by being like, you know what, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and that's that. Even if I'm having an anxious thought or something, I literally tell myself the same thing, like, you know what, girl, it's already great now, what you gonna do? Enjoy the ride, baby, enjoy the ride. And I learn from my lows and I enjoy my highs, okay? So even my lows, for you, as far as like if you want to manifest more high moments for yourself, learn from your lows. Instead of being like, oh my god, I want to get out of this low so quickly, and distract yourself. Let's say you're feeling sad or whatever, you want to distract yourself by going here, doing this, doing that, and doing everything but sitting with yourself. That is not going to manifest more highs for you. That's going to manifest more lows for you, because you're not learning from your lows to create those highs. When I'm feeling low, I journal. I ask myself why, what triggered me. Should I be doing this less? Is there certain people that trigger me online? Do I need to mute these people? Is it certain smells that trigger me? How can I remove that? Is it certain shows that trigger me? Let's remove that. Let's remove the triggers so that we're not constantly trying to heal in a broken environment. Let's not do that. Let's try to create a more nurturing environment for you to heal. And so let's remove the things that don't need to be there, and let's discuss what we're feeling in the first place. How can you be that friend to yourself that you are to everybody else? It is about getting with self. It is about removing the clutter, and it is about removing attachment. And that is how you manifest the life that you desire and you dream of. And before you know it, you're gonna wake up, open your eyes, take a second of gratitude and be like, oh my God, I'm living exactly what I wanted to live 3 years ago. This is crazy. Always pause and look around you. You're probably living the life right now that you thought you wanted a few years ago, even if it's in the slightest way, the smallest way. There's something that you have. And so hold on to that and continue to build on it. Even with friends, right? You have to learn to let some go. That doesn't mean it's like beef or, oh my God, I hate her now. It's just like, you were in my life for a season, not a lifetime, and that's okay, because you taught me lessons valuable for a lifetime. Sometimes people come into your life, whether it's romantic or platonic, as a friend, to teach you something to carry into your next friendship or your next relationship or into yourself that will last you a lifetime. Everybody doesn't have to last you a lifetime. Doesn't mean that it was a failure. It was a trial, or it was a tribulation, it was a lesson, it was an experience. I'm sure even when friendships end and people are like, oh, I hate her, da, da, da. Why? Like, you had so many laughs, I'm sure. You had laughs with them, you had love with them, you had everything. There's so much to be grateful for. You should be grateful for the happy times you had with that person, and grateful for what you learned moving forward. It doesn't have to be forever to be fulfilling. Does that make sense? 1 second, boyfriend is calling. Tell them how I manifested you.
She said, Lord, bring me the finest, most able-bodied, most handsome, loving man in the world, and I popped up.
Tell them how you manifested me.
I said, Lord, please bring me the most loving, beautiful, kind woman in the world, one who matches me, one who is gonna be my partner, and you popped up.
Period. Okay, if you guys have more questions on what I manifested for myself, how I did it, outlook, anything like that, you can leave a comment below, or you can book a one-on-one session with me on my website if you want to talk more privately. I'm so glad to be back chatting with y'all. Let me know what y'all want to see. This is just a good way for us to like kind of update each other, get back in on good vibes, good frequency, and yeah, let me know what y'all want to see. I love you guys so much. You got this. You are worthy. You are enough, and you are deserving. See you in my next one.